What if I told you that the most intimidating muscle cars of the 1970s weren't always the ones with stripes, spoilers, and loud exhausts? That's right. Hidden in plain sight were a handful of unassuming American machines that could tear up the streets without ever looking the part. These were the ultimate sleeper cars, family wagons, sedans, and underdog coupes with enough horsepower to surprise anything at a red light. In this video, we're diving into 9 ultimate American sleeper cars of the 1970s. And, trust me, number 9 will make you question everything you thought you knew about Chrysler. Let's get into it. Number 1. 1970 Plymouth Fury GT. The Plymouth Fury GT was the definition of overkill wrapped in a full-size body. This massive land yacht packed a 440 cubic inch Super Commando V8 engine that churned out 375 horsepower. With minimal badging and a conservative exterior, it looked more like a cop car than a muscle car. But on the street, it could surprise everything from GTOs to Camaros. It came with heavy-duty suspension, dual exhaust, and optional 3.91 gears. Few expected a car this size to launch with such force, which made it a true menace in stoplight showdowns. It was Plymouth's way of saying, size doesn't mean slowers. Number 2. 1970 Mercury Cyclone. Spoiler 429 SCJ. Don't let the Mercury badge fool you. The Cyclone Spoiler 429 SJ was built for battle. Featuring the legendary 429 Super Cobra jet engine with ram air induction, it delivered a brutal 375 horsepower and over 450 Ft of torque. With the drag pack option, it also came with oil coolers and a 3.91 rear axle ratio. Its aerodynamic nose and subtle looks made it easy to underestimate. But this car was born from Mercury's NASCAR obsession. It was faster than many Mustangs and far rarer, making it one of the most underappreciated sleeper missiles of its era. Number 3. 1970 Chevy Kingswood Wagon 454. If you pulled up next to this station wagon at a red light in 1970, you'd never expect it to have a 454 cubic inch LS5 V8 under the hood. The Kingswood was a full-size family wagon, but when optioned right, it shared the same powertrain as the Chevelle SM. It could deliver 360 horsepower and enough torque to pull a boat or smoke a muscle car. With the right tires, this grocery getter could sprint to 60 mph in under 7 seconds. It even came with hidden headlights and wood grain paneling to keep the sleeper aesthetic alive. Practicality met power in one of Chevy's sneakiest creations. Number 4. 1972 Ford Gran Torino Sport 351 Cobra Jet. Made famous by the film Gran Torino, the real magic was under the hood of the 1972 Sport model when equipped with the 351 Cobra jet engine. This V8 wasn't the top dog in Ford's arsenal, but it delivered a surprising punch with 206 net horsepower. Respectable after-horsepower ratings switched from gross to net. The car looked sleek and stylish, but it didn't scream performance. However, with the Cobra Jet's solid torque curve and optional 4-speed manual transmission, it could outgun plenty of flashy competitors. It's one of those cars that never got the credit it deserved, and that's what makes it a true sleeper. Number 4. 1973 Buick Century GS Stage 1 455. By 1973, most muscle cars were being neutered by emissions rules, but Buick wasn't ready to give up just yet. The Century GS 455 Stage 1 could be ordered with a massive 455 cubic inch engine, delivering 270 net horsepower and an astonishing 305 Ft of torque. It may have looked like a conservative cruiser, but it had muscle car DNA running through its veins. With discreet styling and little visual drama, it was easy to mistake this for your grandpa's weekend driver. But once that Stage 1 package kicked in, It left tire marks and stunned faces everywhere it went. Buick proved luxury and speed weren't mutually exclusive. Number 6, 1974 Chevy Laguna S3 454. While the Chevelle SS took the spotlight, the Chevy Laguna S3 quietly flew under the radar. The S3 variant, especially when equipped with the 454 big block, delivered serious street performance. With clean lines, hidden wipers, and an optional sport package, the Laguna S3 was more refined than its muscle car siblings, but no less dangerous. The 454 V8 pumped out up to 270 net horsepower, making it quick despite its more luxurious demeanor. This was a car you'd see at the office parking lot, and then unexpectedly dominating Friday night drag races. It's a classic example of sleeper power wrapped in subtle design. Number 7, 1974 AMC Matador X Coupe 401. AMC isn't the first name you think of when talking performance, but the 1974 Matador X Coupe with the 401 cubic inch V8 made a strong case. With 235 net horsepower and a lightweight chassis, it could hold its own in a straight line. The X trim added a sporty flair, but most still wrote it off as just another personal coupe. Big mistake. AMC tuned this car with performance in mind, and when properly optioned, it was more than capable of keeping up with the Big Three's muscle. It's one of the rarest and most misunderstood cars of the 70s, which only adds to its sleeper status. Number 8, 1976 Dodge Aspen RT. By the mid-70s, emissions regulations had strangled most performance cars, but Dodge had one last trick up its sleeve. The Aspen RT. Under the hood was a 360 cubic inch V8 producing 170 net horsepower, which doesn't sound like much until you factor in its light curb weight. This car was deceptively quick, especially with the factory 3.21 rear gears and optional 4-speed manual. Visually, it looked like a sporty compact, not a street menace. But in a decade known for gutless rides, the Aspen RT was a breath of fresh horsepower. It was cheap, light, and just fast enough to earn its sleeper stripes. Number 9, 1979 Chrysler 300.
You'd never expect a late 70s Chrysler to make this list.
But the 1979 Chrysler 300 was no ordinary land yacht. Powered by a high-output 360 cubic inch V8, it made 195 net horsepower and was paired with a beefy suspension package, dual exhaust, and a torque-of-flight automatic transmission. This was Chrysler's swan song for the muscle car era, disguised as a luxury coupe. With hidden headlamps, formal styling, and bucket seats, it looked like a Wall Street cruiser, but could still lay down rubber. It wasn't the fastest car here, but it was faster than it had any right to be in 1979, a true dark horse. The beauty of a sleeper car isn't just in its power, it's in its deception. These American icons of the 1970s wore disguises of wagons, sedans, and plush coupes, but hid the hearts of warriors under their hoods. They caught challengers off guard, turned heads at the track, and redefined what muscle could look like. So next time you see an old family car rumbling at a stoplight, don't laugh. It might just outrun you. If you enjoyed this list of hidden American muscle gems, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us, which of these sleeper cars would you put in your garage?